talking franchises here, bud.
Hey, so it's already week 2 of the Transformers. I've got to tell you, I got a big problem with the Transformers. I can't tell them apart. They're all just sort of steel looking. You know, when I watch Fast and the Furious, I could tell them apart because it's like one of them's Vin Diesel, you know, one of them's Paul Walker. But see, with this franchise, it's just a bunch of gray metal talking to each other. I can't tell them apart. You know,
That's not even necessarily true. Megatron's the only one that's gray.
They're all gray.
I feel like I can sort of tell them apart. You've got especially the new guy, Sentinel. He was red. he was easy to tell apart. Bumblebee
Yeah, he was
yellow.
easy. Yeah.
Optimus Prime is blue and red.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess that's only 4 of them that I can tell.
No,
apart.
see, that's the thing. I could tell Bumblebee and Optimus apart, all right? Because Bumblebee's yellow, all right? And Optimus, he's got a crazy voice, all right? And he's red and blue. He's got a nice color scheme, and I remember him from childhood, okay? But then you get into these, like, sometimes there's scenes where it's, I guess, just like Megatron and Starscream having a chat, and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
That's a good point. Yeah.
All
Who was
right.
the guy in the last one that was like, me, so-and-so, me like this? Who was that? I kept waiting for him to show up in here, but he never did.
Grimdank or something?
Grimlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Grimlock to show up, and he still hasn't.
Well, it's because Michael Bay's too good for the Dinobots. I read this. He said this.
Well, no, they do show up at some point. I remember. I think
Yeah,
it might
but
be the next
it's
one.
post Bay. No, I'm. Oh, really? You think it's the next one?
I think it's the next one.
I guess it's called Age of Extinction, right? So it's like extinct dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say I'm Daniel Ehrenberg, and that's Logan Adair. We're talking about Transformers. We're on Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon this week.
Stay tuned, guys, because this is our first ever triple header.
That's
That a
true.
thing?
We're recording
Triple
3
header?
podcasts this morning, and then I have to go to work. I hate my fucking life so much.
Well, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to get all these episodes out for all of you. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, God bless Logan Adair. He really keeps this train a chugging.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. L-Dog, these Transformers, I know I chose it. Thought it'd be an interesting franchise to do. Getting on my nerves a
I
little.
feel like you're picking everything lately.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I know I sort of made the list of things we're going to do, but this is all your stuff that you like. The Turtles, Sharknado. What do we do before
Sharknado was your choice,
But it's
sir.
your thing you love. I only saw the first one, and you saw all of them
Look,
at the last one.
At the beginning of this year, Logan
I
straight
know.
up presented me with like a map of the year and was like, this is what we're doing all year, every week. Deal with it.
We
and
haven't followed it that strictly.
All I said to you was, I want to do Ninja Turtles and Transformers this year.
Okay.
Those are major franchises that we hadn't done yet.
I just wanted to do anniversary movies, and I feel like the only ones we actually did of those was Sharknado, Finding Nemo, and American Graffiti.
We did it with Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. That was a really good one, though.
Yeah,
That's probably the best thing we covered this year. Do you think?
could be.
Possible.
Yeah.
Last
All
year,
right.
Saw.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's start with the Revenge of the Fallen, the second movie. All right, and I'll tell you what, this movie has a couple of hip hop Transformers. They talk in an African American patois, and it's racist. It's really bad, but I was almost thankful for them because I could tell them apart. I was like,
Right.
oh, those are the black ones.
But even between each other, could you tell them apart? I don't remember who's who.
No, of course not. Are you crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know who played them?
Yeah, what's wild is one of them wasn't even it's like Reno Wilson, I think, did one of them, and he's a black fella. But I think the other one was Tom Kenny from SpongeBob.
He's not black.
He's not black even a little.
No, he's probably the least black person I know.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of the time they were on screen trying to picture Tom Kenny in a recording booth doing a black voice.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
They should
All
just
right.
got him and Patrick.
Faggerbacky.
Mm-hmm. He's in Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure.
Scamp's Revenge.
Oh, that would be great. Scamp's
Yeah.
Revenge. Revenge of the Scamp.
Yeah. All right. I'd seen this one. This is the last of the Transformers movies I had seen. How about you?
No, I saw some of the last one. I remembered some of the third one watching it.
Okay. So I saw this in Utica, New York, which is this shithole. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like in upstate New York. It's where the dregs of society live, gang. And I mean, sorry if you live in Utica, but you probably look out the window every day and you're like, God damn, I live among the dregs of society. But my sister was living there because at the time she was married to a military guy. All right.
Mhm.
And he was stationed up in Utica. His job was a recruitment guy. He's like, well, I'll live here among the dregs of society.
They got nothing
And
better to do.
Exactly. I could probably convince a few of these suckers
That's
to
so
join
sad.
the United States military. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I went up to Utica to visit for like a few days. And the military guy, he like had no personality, so he was hard to talk to, you know? And but I felt
Wait,
like
this
he
is her
made
boyfriend you're talking about?
they were married.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This is your first time meeting him, though?
No, I was the best man at the wedding, motherfucker.
Oh, you just never talked to him ever, even when you knew each other?
Yeah, well, he's hard to talk to. Like, I don't even know what my
understand.
sister said to him.
Yeah, I get it. That's how I feel with everybody, basically.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, can you talk to me about Buffy? Come
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Yesterday, I like worked with this lady at work for 8 hours straight, and she like never stopped talking to me, and I was like, we don't have anything to say to each other.
Yeah.
Can
An
we
old lady trained me for an entire week, and I don't know if I ever told her a thing about myself. But she talked the whole time. I don't remember us
Yeah.
never talking, but I don't remember saying anything to her. It was crazy.
I know people are nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went up to Utica, and he, as a surprise, had gotten midnight screening tickets to this movie on opening night. All right. And I didn't like the first one, so I wasn't planning on seeing this. But I went, and watching it this week, something occurred to me. I was like, I wonder if he watched the first movie. He was like, look, it's a bunch of military guys with no personality like me. All right. And then there's like some fucking nerd dating outside of his station, like my brother in law. All right. Maybe we'll watch this movie together and bond.
Right. Well, he thinks
Yeah,
probably that you're just a nerd. He'll go for the military stuff. You'll go for the Transformers. You'll both have a great time.
Yeah, that's probably more what it was. He's like, I gotta entertain this fucking nerd for a couple days. I guess I'll take him to a Transformers movie. Probably
he like
likes
it?
that.
Did y'all talk about it?
Yeah, he liked it way more than I did. It was sort of the thing where like I started talking a little bit of shit about it in the car, and then I realized how much he liked it, and so I had to tone myself down, like pretend to like it a little bit.
Oh man, that's horrible.
Yeah,
I actually remember my uncle took me. My brother might be listening. Let me know if you remember. Our uncle took us to see this movie. That was a good time. Shout out to my uncle.
shout out to Logan's uncle. All right. So Michael Bay's back. He'll be back for how many did he do? 5? Anyway,
I think yeah, all of them
That's
up until
wild.
Bumblebee. Then he did into the new one.
yeah. He's like, well, Mark is out. Mark Wahlberg, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was in the new one? Do we know? Oh, it's the guy in the Heights guy.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. All right, and we got screenplay. Roberto,
Screenplay.
very good. Roberto, I just got the joke. Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman, they're back. All right, but we brought in another guy too. They apparently didn't want to come back. The movie was written like amongst like the writers' strike. We're in one now, but there was one going on then. And that's why season 4 of Grey's Anatomy is so short, gang. Fun fact. All
That's
right.
the first writer strike example you go to.
Yeah. That's why
Okay.
Pushing Daisies was canceled, gang.
I guess mine would be that's why there's a winter season of Big Brother. I guess
There
that's
you
what I would
go.
say.
Yeah, so stop acting all high and mighty.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've seen so much more than me. I feel like that's weird. You just go to Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know why it was the first thing I thought of. Maybe because Patrick Dempsey. We're
Mm.
talking about him today.
Mhm.
All right. Anyway, so Orchie and Kurtzman, they didn't want to come back full time, so they brought in Aaron Kruger. All right. The Krugs. Now, this fella, he got his start. He wrote a big screenplay that everyone thought was going to be a huge hit. It was bought up for like $1 million, and he was the toast of the town, Logan. That screenplay, Reindeer Games. All right.
Mhm.
If it finally came out, it fucking tanked. But by the time it had come out, he had already gotten all this other work because everyone thought he was going to be like this up and coming genius guy, like a Kevin Williamson or something. And so he wrote Scream 3 and shit. And what, Disturbia? What else?
Did he really?
I don't remember.
I didn't know that. I just know him from Scream 3. I don't know.
Let me look him up. But yeah, I know he's the Scream 3 guy. He wrote the classic line.
He does the next one too.
What's your favorite scary movie? My Life.
Is he the one that did he bring over Dempsey? Was he like, hey, I know a guy who can deliver my lines? Great.
I wondered about that. And I bet he didn't have the power for that. But he really does write well for Patrick Dempsey. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah. I like Patrick Dempsey in the next movie.
I
think he's
fucking
very
love
fun.
Patrick Dempsey. He's my MVP of the next movie.
Whoa.
I'll say it right now. Oh, by the way, when I said he wrote Disturbia, I was thinking of The Ring. That's what he
Oh
actually.
yeah, those are very
The
similar.
Ring. Yeah. All right. Logan,
Yeah.
the movie came out June 24th, 2009. So I guess I was in Utica that day. It had a budget of $210 million, which is $10 million higher than the last one. And it made $836.5 million. It was the number 2 movie of 2009.
Avatar.
Yeah, that's all that beat it.
Yeah.
If not for goddamn Avatar, this would have been the movie of the year, gang.
The budgets are getting higher. Also, the run times, 5 minutes every single movie.
I couldn't believe my eyes
Yeah.
when I
I
saw
doubt
these
it'll get
fucking run
higher
times.
every time, but we'll see.
I'm infuriated by the run times of these movies.
Yeah.
You could cut roughly 1 hour. From
Yeah,
all
I
of these
agree.
movies.
I agree. Well, I was gonna say 1 hour. You could cut an hour out of each movie.
Yeah. It's insane. All right. Anyway, I got some awards to announce for Revenge of the Fallen. By the way, I still don't understand The Fallen. I watched the whole movie twice now. I still don't understand.
They
the
made it seem like
concept.
The Fallen was the name of one Transformer.
Yeah,
Right? But I don't think it was it?
I have no fucking idea.
I don't either.
All right. So this was actually nominated for an Oscar, Logan.
Oscars, it's the red carpet, it's the red carpet and the gowns and the tuxes. The Oscars, it's the big night for Hollywood, the red carpet and the golden man.
Best sound mixing, which it lost to The Hurt Locker.
Okay. Bullets.
Because it's Bullets, yeah. All right. MTV nominated for Best WTF Moment.
All right.
All right. And it was nominated for that moment where that hot babe becomes a Transformer.
Okay, it's a classic moment.
Yeah, but it lost to Ken Jeong's penis in The Hangover.
Oh, and then they were so pissed. They were like, if we lock him down for the next movie, we can't lose to him.
Exactly.
That was a great plan.
Yeah, holy shit. Dr. Ken beat us. If you can't beat him, join him.
Like Kevin Durant.
All right, Saturn Awards.
Saturn is between Uranus and Neptune. Saturn, whoa! Sci-fi best of films.
They nominated for the best sci-fi movie of the year, but it lost to Avatar, obviously.
Yeah.
And the Kids' Choice Awards.
It's the Kids' Choice Awards. It's KCA to you, but it's the kids making the choice. Yeah.
Nominated for best movie, but it lost to Alvin and the Chipmunks 2, The Squeakquel.
Mm.
All right. Shia lost best actor to Taylor Lautner for one of the Twilight movies, and Megan Fox lost best actress to Miley Cyrus for
Gotta
the
be a
Hannah
second
Montana
Twilight.
movie.
That's the Taylor Lautner Twilight movie. It's one where he's the big star.
I feel like we're too late for that, aren't? No, I guess you're right. It probably would be the second one.
Yeah, 2008, 2009.
Yeah. All right. But of course, the biggest recipient was the Razzies.
It's the raspberries, no razzmatazz. Well, all we're lacking is a little pizzazz, 'cause it's the golden raspberries. It's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best. It's pizzazz gone raz.
Megan Fox lost worst actress to Sandra Bullock for All About Steve. Now that was a big deal that year because Sandra
She
Bullock
won
was.
also, right?
What do you mean?
Because she won the Oscar and the Razzie.
Oh yeah, I
Blind
wasn't
Side?
even gonna say that, but Bullock was one of the only actors to ever like show up and give an acceptance speech at the Razzies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she's dealing with some hardships right now, isn't she?
Yeah, I just saw that. That's very sad.
Yeah, she was like secretly married, and now he's secretly dead. I don't know
Well,
what's
it's not
going
a
on.
secret that he's dead.
Yeah, I guess we all know about it.
I didn't know this it was a secret. Why was that a secret that she's married?
I don't know. Maybe she wanted to keep out of the public eye because that motorcycle Nazi cheated on her once.
Was this guy famous?
No, I don't know if he was. I don't know a lot about him.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah,
famous
very
to
sad.
me for having been married to Sandra Bullock and died of cancer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Michael Bay was nominated for Worst Director, and he won the award.
Yay!
All right. This movie also won Worst Picture.
Yay!
Worst Picture of the Year. But weirdly lost Worst Remake or Sequel to the Land of the Lost movie with Will Ferrell, which I
What's
also...
that as that's a remake of something?
It's a remake of a TV show, The Land of the Lost from the 70s.
Okay.
I
That's
saw
a
that.
horrible movie.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters as well, and I can tell you, Transformers 2 is better than that movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's not even close. Is this the same year as Year One also?
Might be.
This might be one of the worst years ever.
There's
Really?
good movies in 2009.
Yeah,
It
like
was like Moon and shit.
500
What
Days
else?
of Summer.
Ew.
Inglorious Bastards. Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Shia and Megan Fox were nominated for Worst Screen Couple. They lost to Bradley Cooper and Sandra Bullock for All About Steve. This movie won Worst Screenplay. And lastly, nominated for Worst Supporting Actress was Julie White, who plays Shia LaBeouf's mom in this.
Wait, nominated for what?
Worst Supporting Actress.
What?
Yeah. I thought it was ridiculous too. I think
They
she's
give
a
her some
highlight.
stupid shit. Especially in the next movie. The next movie's even worse. But I think she is great.
This movie's worse.
No, next movie she says something like really fucking crazy. She says like, "You're never gonna date somebody as hot as those girls unless you've got a real big dick." It's like, what?
Yeah, I
What is
liked
going-
that.
You liked that? That was like one of
Yeah.
the craziest things I've ever heard in my
No,
life.
I was dumber in this movie when she ate like weed brownies. I felt like I
It
was
made
watching an episode.
sense. She's just like on
What do you
campus,
mean
like,
sense?
it's like a
I felt like I was
sitcom.
watching an episode of That 70s Show.
I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it felt like. But the other one was like so inappropriate. It made me hate that character.
What? Because you have such a small dick, you got sensitive about that?
If your mom is like, you're never gonna like have another great relationship with somebody beautiful unless you have a big penis, that is weird as fuck.
The fact that Shia LaBeouf can pull a Rosie Huntington Whiteley on the heels of pulling a Megan Fox. If I was the mom, I'd be flabbergasted.
He's cool. He just saved the
He's
world.
not.
What are you talking about?
And nobody knows he saved the world. Well, I guess she does. 'Cause- yeah, because she was given a medal by Obama.
And she liked it. And she was like, well, you know what I liked about it was in the past. I don't like that it's now. Like, she was into that he saved the world.
I don't know. Well, she was just supposed to be Megan Fox. We'll talk about it. I read about her character a lot.
Okay.
Anyway, let's just get into.
I kind of liked her,
Fallen.
to be honest. Like, I didn't hate her. I looked her up. She has done nothing basically, and I don't think she's that terrible. I think she's better than Megan Fox was.
I think you're nuts.
Really?
Yeah.
I think give her another chance.
She reminded me of that girl from the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. Remember her? Estella Warren?
Not even.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So the movie opens on an Optimus Prime voiceover. And
They all
Optimus,
do that.
anytime Optimus Prime talks, it makes me laugh. It is such a goofy fucking voice. And he's
What?
always-
Come on. This is the Optimus Prime.
I know. I don't know. Let it be Chris Pratt. I don't give a shit. Anyway, he's like, Earth. That's the first thing you hear in the movie is him going, Earth. And I was immediately dying.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about like 17,000 BC. There was a race of ancient transformers.
That's just the dialogue. Don't blame
It's
him.
so goofy, man.
I know.
I mean, there's a way to make that stuff sound good. I mean, Michael Bay.
Yeah, write it
knows.
better. I don't
He started Armageddon with a Charlton Heston voiceover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and this is like, let's get Peter Cullen, the Optimus Prime guy. To me, Peter Cullen is to Transformers what Kane Hodder is to Friday the 13th. Like, he's someone the fans really love out of nostalgia or some misguided reasons, or because he loves being part of the franchise.
This is
But
way
he's not-
different.
He's not actually
Kane
good.
Hodder was not him the whole time, though.
I know.
Like with Jason, it is like they have this like weird love for him that you don't understand. But here, it's the guy the whole time. How does that not understandable?
I don't know, just the idea that we'd be rebooting
It'd be like Darth Vader.
Transformers all those years later, and it's like, this is the only guy that can
Well, they
do
did
it.
they did that with Mufasa, didn't they? In the new Lion King, they got
Yeah.
James Earl Jones to be because they were like nobody else could do it. And they also did that with J. Jonah Jameson. They were like J.K. Simmons. He's the only guy that can do it. You feel that way, Sam?
But do we really feel that way about Peter Cullen?
I'm sure fans do. The way
Earth!
you feel about Spider-Man, I'm sure these fans feel the same way.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
sorry, guys, by the way, if you're like a huge Transformers fan, and we really don't know anything about it, and we don't have any love for it or anything. So I don't want
That's
to
true.
apologize.
Yeah, I know that there's people that like watch the Transformers, like, you know, like I grew up on like Marvel comics and shit, so I have like this. I have some context going into all those movies. I really don't have that with this. I don't know. I never know what's happening. I never know why it's happening. I have like basic questions that don't make sense to me. Like, here's the thing. In this movie, there's like a little sliver of the Allspark, right?
Mhm.
And the sliver, when it like touches something, it turns them into a transformer, like household items and shit.
Right.
All right. So what's going on Cybertron?
I think
Can I
they
ask
said
you
it got
that?
destroyed.
But how were there Transformers there in the first place? If the Allspark created them and the Allspark needs like pieces of,
Maybe this is just how it reacts
appliance.
on Earth.
but like
It
all
might
the
react differently.
all the
there.
Transformers, they have like name brands on them. right? Like they're like Volkswagens and shit.
Right.
And so I feel like it doesn't make sense that Cybertron was a planet. Like to me, the Allspark should have like landed on that little island of garbage in the Pacific Ocean here, and that's how the Transformers happened.
Well, then you can just change canon in your brain, I guess. I never
I just
really
don't.
thought
I
about that.
don't get how they were created, and I don't get why they have brand like it doesn't make sense that they should have any logos on them other than Autobot and Decepticon.
Yeah. I do agree with that. I was thinking at a certain point, are these just like, are they getting paid from all of these different cars? Like,
Yes, of course they are. But to me, it takes me out of the movie entirely because I then start thinking about that. And I'm like, these are supposed to be biological entities in some form, right?
right. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah. So I've got all that living in my head the entire time watching these movies.
Yeah. It's a good point. They should not be they should not be Toyotas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
right. Can you walk me through some of this? I watched it a few days ago.
Well, you brought up the sliver of the Allspark, and I have a question. Like, they keep reminding. I was like, is that how late does this happen after that movie? Because Sam Witwicky, he is like gonna put on a shirt or something, and the thing falls out of his shirt. And it's like, what? How is that in your shirt from 2 years ago? How did that happen? And they keep telling us that was 2 years ago, so that is confirmed. I didn't understand that. Did he not wash his clothes in 2 years?
No, he hadn't. He said like this is my uniform, basically. Like I
Did he
saved
really
the
say that?
world. Yeah, he's like I saved the
shit.
world in this outfit. So it just sort of like
Are you serious?
hangs honorarily. Yeah.
Like actually?
Yes.
Oh my god! Wow, that was like a big problem I had, but I completely missed that. So okay,
Anyway,
mistake by me.
I still don't understand how the government like wouldn't they have like looked over his shirt after the big battle just to make sure it's not any like usable technology on there?
Yeah, yeah, I kind of would think so. I think that all that would go into custody for at least for a little while.
All right.
Can we talk about the butt shot?
You mean Megan Fox on that motorcycle?
That's absurd.
It is so silly. The fact that I watched that and I was like, Michael Bay is insane. And
Yeah.
and then in the next movie, he almost tops it. There's like this crazy scene where Rosie Huntington Whiteley just like steps out of a car and the camera is just up her fucking skirt.
Yeah, no, that's not even the shot I was thinking. I thought you were talking about the first one where it's like her feet going up the stairs and then her butt and then her getting into bed.
Yeah.
It's like the very first shot of her in the movie.
Yeah.
But that's not what I thought. But you're right. You're the completely up her skirt when she gets out of the car. But like we talked about in the last movie, the shot of Megan Fox, like the tummy shot. But this
Yes, and this is even worse.
Oh my god! Who is this? I mean, I guess it's for the people watching
It's
these
for
movies.
horny
They probably like that.
teens.
But
Yeah.
that was so stupid. And 21 Guns is playing during that moment too.
I fucking 21 Guns with the same goddamn melody as all the young dudes by David Bowie.
I'm not
You
making the edit
motherfuckers.
again. I did in the other video if you want to listen to how similar they are. I don't remember
Yeah.
what episode that was. But they are. You're 100% right. Those
I think it
songs
was
are
behind
the
the paywall. Yeah, if you want to hear gems like that, go behind the paywall. $5 a month, patreon.com/the franchise. All right, what else you want to talk about?
Well, another song actually, while we're talking about songs, Burn It to the Ground by Nickelback is in this movie, and that was used on Monday Night Raw for 3 years. I looked it up. I was like, this is a WWE song, and I'm gonna look up how long it was used.
What was it, like the theme song to
The theme song for Monday Night Raw. I thought it was just used for like a SummerSlam or something, probably. But no, straight up the Monday Night Raw theme song from 2009 to 2012.
That's wild, man.
Pretty cool.
Chad Krogs.
Yeah. But can I tell you something I didn't like?
Sure.
The one thing I didn't like about this movie was Sam goes to college, right? And he meets his roommate. I actually sort of liked his roommate. I didn't look up what he's done. I hope
I recognized him from when we covered Charlie's Angels.
Oh, well, I didn't do that, but I hope.
Oh, you weren't part of that? Because they did like a remake of a TV remake of Charlie's Angels that didn't last. Was like one of them was like Minka Kelly or something, and he played Bosley in that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, you're not excited, but I was. Anyway,
I thought I liked him though. But the other people there were like a few conspiracy theorists that are like, the government's trying to keep it all away from us. We know there are Transformers out there. I didn't like that the conspiracy theorists in this movie were right. Like they nailed it all. Like if Transformers were real, the government was lying. Like they were right about everything. That sort of bothered me.
yeah.
I guess we know how Bay feels.
I'm pretty sure Trump
Ruger.
paid for product placement in one of these movies. They
The
talk
next
about
movie,
like
they go to Trump Tower.
Yeah, they talk about Trump Tower a lot.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Anyway, but I didn't like this character. At first, I thought they were trying to do Social Network, but Social Network hadn't come out yet.
It is what
So-
they're trying to. That is what. Oh, right. But they know the story of Facebook, kind of, right?
Yeah, I know, but it looked so similar. I
It
thought they
did.
were doing
That's exactly what I was thinking too. That's
Yeah,
I didn't
you
think
think
about
David
that.
Fincher ripped off Michael Bay?
I do think so.
All right. But yeah, his whole thing, he's got a website, therealeffingdeal.com. He's got a bunch of nerdy friends and they're protecting the website and his dorm room. He's got it all set up already. I don't know.
I sort of liked him. What do you feel about that actor?
The actor's fine. Ramon Rodriguez, I think his name is.
Yeah.
But the character I wasn't into.
I feel the same way. What about Rainn Wilson?
Professor Dwight Schrute.
Right.
My favorite thing about that whole sequence was something my girlfriend pointed out to me. Behind him, he's got like a big blackboard, and he has written on the blackboard E = MC squared. Because
Right.
that's something you might write on a blackboard.
That's all that was on the blackboard.
Yeah, it's like the fucking production designers, like they're like,
rules.
well, it's a math class. He probably wrote E = MC squared up there.
I love that so much. Oh my god. So speaking of something else that was in the background, that actually was in the background because he goes to paint on it at one point. A Bad Boys 2 poster. How'd you feel about that?
There was also a Bad Boys 1 poster at one point.
Wow, where was that?
Yeah.
Also, I think Cloverfield was in that shot of Bad Boys 2. I think there was
Really?
Yeah, I think there was a Cloverfield poster.
Why?
They like Cloverfield. I don't know. That just came out, by the way, last year, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it might have been the same production company or something. Paramount. But yeah, Dwight, going back to Dwight Schrute, it was just like, what are you doing here? Like one of those moments. Like he's
Being in a
not
movie.
good or bad, but it's just like, what? Remember when they tried to make him a star? I saw that movie in theaters, The Rocker.
No, I mean, yeah, I do. I didn't see that.
I saw it. Emma Stone. It had like a pre-super bad Emma Stone in there.
That's cool.
Um,
He was in the Meg. Remember that?
who was Dwight
Right.
Schrute?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh yeah, he was kind of like a bad guy, wasn't
Yeah, I think he like owned the business.
he? Yeah, he's a money guy.
Right.
All right, what do you want to
He
talk
wears
about
like he
next?
wears cool shoes. I remember like the first shot of him is of his cool Nikes.
All right, I'll take your word for that one.
But then Optimus. Remember when in the first movie when Optimus Prime died? They do that in this movie. Megatron kills Optimus Prime, and that was a very sad moment.
But like the first time I saw it and this time, I never ever thought he was dead. Like
He
I
is
knew
dead,
he'd
though.
come back to life.
He's dead though. They just resurrect him.
You can't make me feel anything for these Transformers dying because they're cars. You could give them a tune-up and then they're alive again.
I don't think that that's necessarily how it works, but I mean, did you have this complaint with Infinity War? Like, all those people were coming back to life. That was still a
Yeah,
cool
but I didn't know
ending.
how.
Did you know that they were gonna bring back the Matrix of leadership and bring him back?
No, I guess I didn't.
All right, then settle down. This wasn't so
All right.
bad.
You're right.
Um,
You're right.
I thought it was a cool fight. Shia looked sad, or Sam looked sad when he died. Felt for him.
Sam Witwicky.
All right. Can I bring up one moment that was crazy?
Yeah.
A transformer calls somebody a pussy. I think it's the roommate guy. The roommate's like, "Oh, I'm freaking out over here," and he's like, "Hey, settle down, you pussy." Something like that.
Was that the black Transformers though?
Must have been.
Yeah, it probably was. They're
I think
they're
it
a
was.
little extra.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite line in the movie was?
What?
Wait, and by the way, not only do they call him a pussy, but early in the movie, there's that one Transformer, Sideswipe, and I'm able to recognize him because he's on his side.
I don't know him,
You know what
but
I'm
that's a
talking-
cool name.
Yeah, Sideswipe. Early on in the movie, he's like in a fight with the Decepticons, and he goes, "Hunk ass Decepticons,"
Yeah, that's good.
and I'm like, "Wow, punk ass! They're really learning from Earth." And there's another horrible moment with Sideswipe where he like beats up a Decepticon and the camera just like stops on him. He goes, "Damn, I'm good."
Oh yeah.
Side
Sideswipe's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Well, all right, let's get to John Turturro because he shows back up and like why is he wearing this underwear?
I don't really know what he's doing at any point in this movie.
I don't
He's-
either, but he's getting
he's
paid
a
probably
butcher.
a lot of money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And apparently he loved doing this movie because he'd like never been to Egypt before and he was like pumped to go. But
You remember that shot of the underwear though? That was so gross.
I don't even. What
He, like,
happened with his underwear?
You see his butt, and then he turns around, and you see like his crotch, and then it goes up, and it's literally John Turturro doing the shot. I thought it would probably be a stunt double, but it's him. And you see like his butt, and you see you see it all.
I say God bless John Turturro. I got no problem with that.
Okay.
We first meet him, he's working as a butcher. And I thought he'd like gotten away from the government and gotten a job as a butcher. But here's the thing. It's like a cover for the government, right? Like in the basement of the butcher shop, they've got like a big lab or whatever. But I'm like, if that was a thing, if the government was covering up like a site with a butcher shop, would the fucking commander of the site be the butcher in the butcher shop? It's
Right.
wild.
This is a great point. This is a great point because if you think about it like Breaking Bad, Gus Fring owns a random chicken place. He doesn't work at the laundromat where they make the meth underneath it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he should work somewhere way different at just another random place, not
He should
this
just
place.
he should just be down in the lab running the government operation, and then they'd have some low-level government employee learn how to be a butcher.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is a great point. I didn't even think about this. He should not be there ever.
No. He should not be front-facing in this operation.
Yeah. Great job.
Thank you. All right, what else you got?
Oh man. He called
I
Michaela mature. I wrote mature.
Who called her that?
John Turturro, he's like, "Oh, you look so mature now."
I know, and that creeped me out too, because in the last movie, he's already perving out on her, and she's in high school.
Right.
All right, and now he's like, "Oh, she's ripe." I fucking
Yeah.
hate it.
Horrible.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that would have had like that Olsen's countdown.
Yeah. Yeah, the shirt.
What?
The shirt?
What shirt?
The one that's in Cabin Fever?
I don't remember this. Remind me.
One of the characters in Cabin Fever is wearing a shirt that says the date of when the Olsons turn 18.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I think the guy at the end is like, I made it. I'm still alive, and then they kill him. I think it might be that character.
That's awful.
Way to go, Eli.
Starring Letterboxd All-Star Ryder Strong.
Truly, follow Ryder Strong on Letterboxd. He's one of the greats.
Yeah, he's got some wild opinions. My favorite line of the whole movie belongs to Tyrese Gibson.
Whoa.
All right. He's looking at a transformer at one point. This is supposed to be very deep. Okay, so I want you to really think about this philosophically. Tyrese looks at the transformer and goes, I just can't help myself from thinking. If God made us in his image, who made him? Talk about the transformer, right?
Yeah.
Who's their God? They got some kind of car God?
Yeah. That was a great line. And I thought of you because I feel like you just brought up that, didn't you?
What do you
Something
mean?
about God made us in his image. Didn't you just talk about that recently?
Oh yeah, I think I did.
So I was already thinking about you when he said that. But yeah, that was a fun line. I enjoyed that.
All right, what else you got?
I don't know. A lot of just shit at the desert at the end of this movie. They just fight for an hour. You could probably
Yeah,
cut it down to 10 minutes.
that's what you can cut. Like, every one of these movies ends with like a fucking hour-long war sequence.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime, they bring him back to life. They use the Matrix, bring him back to life. They win. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried to figure out here's my notes on The Fallen. You ready? Millennia ago, Transformers harvested Energon by destroying suns. Okay, and they weren't allowed to do this. The Fallen was the one that led this whole operation. Who I think is one Transformer named the
Do
Fallen.
we see him? Does he ever like make an appearance?
Yeah.
Do they kill him at the end?
I don't know if he makes an appearance in present day even. Like we see him in millennia ago.
Okay.
But he's leading this operation to destroy suns to harvest Energon, Logan. And that's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I got too.
I don't even really understand what Energon is. I think it's
think
sort
it's
of
their
like
power source or something.
I think it's like fuel for them. Like it's like in a video game. I guess it'd be like a mushroom for Mario, right? That gives him a little boost.
Right. So it's like the same thing as Mushroom and Mario.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's we learned what Energon is in this movie. That's pretty good. What else did we learn?
Nothing.
All right, are you going one?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was kind of at a 2 for. I really like Sam. I think he's cool. I didn't hate his roommate. I liked his mom in this movie. Thought she was sort of fun, but it just gets in like the second half of the movie. I hate. So I'm gonna go 1 too. I guess 1 as well.
Great. Yeah.
My MVP is gonna be Sam Witwicky, Shia LaBeouf.
Sam Witwicky.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what else was a weird thing they did in this movie?
What?
So one of the government generals, okay, is Glenn Morshower, the actor Glenn Morshower. You familiar with him?
Nope.
All right. He's been in a ton of shit. 24, The Resident, Bloodline, a lot of TV, Treme, I think. And in the first movie, he's just a general, right? Then they brought him back for these two. And what they've done here is they've just given him his own name. Like, dudes keep referring to him as General Morshower.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
What do you mean?
I don't know who you're talking about. General Morshower.
But his name is Glenn Morshower in real life.
Oh, that's what you're saying. They're just calling him. That's weird.
In the second and third movies, they decided to finally name the character, and they just named him after the actor.
Yeah, that's interesting. And make it easy on everybody.
I guess.
We didn't even mention Josh Duhamel. What do you think of him in this one?
I don't understand what Josh Duhamel's doing in any of these movies.
I don't either.
He has nothing to do at any point ever.
What happened to his family also? You remember he had a family in the first movie?
Yeah, I mean he's third build in these things. Like it would seem like he'd be really important, and he keeps coming back. But
Yeah, he does- he
it
does
might
nothing.
it might as well be anybody.
Yeah. All right.
All right, I'm gonna say my MVP is fuck it, I'll go Shia too.
Can I go LVP Michael Bay? Because I don't think any of the
guess.
actors are LVP worthy, and I think this.
Oh, I was
this
gonna
is all
give
just Michael
LVP
Bay's fault.
to the sexy Transformer.
Who was that?
You know, the sexy lady.
Oh,
who
the-
turns
oh, the
into a
girl.
Transformer. Hey, also,
Why? Why is
how
she LVP?
How is that Transformer able to turn into a sexy lady?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I'm not sure.
I
the
thought
answer.
they're cars or fucking robots.
No, she's
Not
a,
human.
yeah, she's a human or a robot.
Now just anybody could be a Transformer. They should reveal in one of these movies that both Megan Fox and Rosie Huntington Whiteley were Transformers all along.
Or just reveal that everyone was a Transformer. That would be very
Shia's
funny.
parents were Transformers, and therefore he's a Transformer.
No, but he's real somehow. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so my LVP is gonna be Michael Bay. What about you? Oh, you went with her. Why her? Why'd she do so bad?
I went with her mostly because of her very poor acting.
She's a Transformer playing a robot woman.
Yeah.
I think great
Um,
performance. I think she's doing a great job.
All right. It was the only part of the movie I remembered. Like the second she showed up on
Mhm.
screen, I was like, I whispered, I spoiled my girlfriend. I was like, she's gonna be a Transformer.
No, I remembered a lot of
She
stuff. I
was-
remembered Rainn Wilson. I remembered the Totoro
I
like
didn't
down with the
I did not
Jets.
remember Rainn Wilson being in this movie at all.
Yeah, I knew it. Well, I didn't know which one he was in, but when he popped up, I was like, "Oh yeah, Rainn Wilson's in one of these." But all right, next movie. I got nothing else.
Yeah, the Dark of the Moon. 2 years later. I can't believe they banged these movies out in 2 years for these first bunch of ones. It's crazy. It's very fast.
They're not like expertly done or anything.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess the Transformers, like the studio's like, well, it's not like they're going to be good. Just fucking keep making them.
Yeah, how fast can we do it? Was the question.
Yeah. Michael Bay is back to direct. Aaron Kruger is the sole screenwriter of this
K.
film.
Uger. You know that? You know K. Uger
No, what are you talking about?
from Seinfeld? Is it
Kruger.
Elaine? Somebody has a boss? It's either
Mr.
Elaine or
Kruger.
George. Mr. Kruger. Is that George has a boss, Mr. Kruger? And then, but the R falls off the sign, and so he goes by K. Uger.
I don't
You know what I'm
remember
talking
that.
about? No.
Mm-mm.
Somebody
I'm really
might.
stuck with you.
K. Uger.
All right. June 29th, 2011 was the release date for this. It had a $195 million budget. It was actually a little less. And then, what a hit. It made $1.124 billion. Came in again at number 2 for the year, only behind the final Harry Potter movie.
Mm.
And number 3 was Twilight. Breaking Dawn won. Breaking
Yep.
Pop and Cherry won.
Yeah, one of the best ones.
Breaking Hyman. Twilight Saga. Breaking Hyman.
All
How about
right.
that?
Speaking of Hyman, we're going to talk about Jesse Hyman. You know who
Who's
that is? We'll talk about him.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so yawning.
All right, with the space race, that was exciting. It was very long.
Well, so yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the trailer, for this movie. Okay, and they're like getting into the space race, and they show like JFK or whatever, who's my favorite character from Oppenheimer, and then they show like astronauts on the moon discovering something like ancient aliens. I saw this trailer in theaters with my friend Nathaniel, and I remember us looking at each other going like, "This looks good. Looks really good."
What were you watching when you saw the trailer?
I wish I could remember. I don't know.
Did you ever see Apollo 18?
but-
That's like a space horror movie.
No, I never did. I
What about
wasn't looking for
Life?
horror. No,
Jake
Saw that
Gyllenhaal,
either.
Ryan Reynolds. You never
It
saw
just looked like it could be like a new Roland Emmerich. Like maybe I thought maybe it might be the ID4 sequel or something because that hadn't come out yet. And then like the second the movie was like Transformers 3. That's the title. I was so disappointed.
that? Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. All right. Nominated for an Oscar. Oscars again. The Oscars like the Transformers movies.
Okay. Sound?
Visual effect.
Oh.
It was nominated for visual effects and both sound categories. It lost all three of those awards to Hugo.
Okay.
All right. Saturn Awards nominated it for visual effects only, and it lost to Rise to the Planet of the Apes. And of course the Razzies. This was a big Adam Sandler year at the Razzies because he was in both Just Go With It and Jack and Jill same year. So they really focused in on him, which I think is stupid because I think both of those movies are better than any Transformers movie I've seen so far.
Bro, I don't think that that's true. Both of those are better than any Transformers movie.
That I've
Jack
seen
and Jill
so
is
far.
better than any Transformers.
Of the first four, yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. Jack
I
and Jill's really bad.
It's not that bad.
It's really stupid. It's not funny.
It was better than I remembered, than I thought it would be.
When did you see it last? You saw it recently?
I saw it only time like last year.
Oh, all right. I saw it. I was like near when it came out on DVD, and I fucking hated it.
Well, when it came out, I was like, "This looks fucking horrible. I'm fucking done with Sandler." And
Now we love him
I'm-
again.
Yeah, now we love him again. But so Bay lost Best Director to Dennis Dugan because he had directed both of those movies. Just Go With It and Jack and Jill. They lost Worst Ensemble and Picture to Jack and Jill. They lost Worst Couple, Worst Screenplay, both to Jack and Jill. Rosie Huntington Whiteley lost Supporting Actress to David Spade, who I guess was in Jack and Jill.
I thought you were
don't
going to say
remember
to
that.
Jill. That would have been funny.
No, Sandler won Worst Actress. This is Supporting Actress.
Of course.
Yeah. Patrick Dempsey also nominated for Worst Supporting Actor, which I think is stupid. And
Wait, sorry, say it again. I'm sorry.
Dempsey.
Oh, yeah.
He lost to Al Pacino, who played himself, of course, in Jack and Jill.
Dunkachino. Yeah.
So, yeah, come on, Dunkachino is better than anything in these
You're
Transformers
right,
movies.
but that's doesn't make up for it.
All right, I guess. All right, so we've got this new Transformers. They wrote it to be like the capper to the first two, and then of course, Megan Fox in an interview compared Michael Bay to Hitler.
Oh, I remember that. Wow.
Yeah. And so Michael Bay wasn't too keen on working with her anymore. And I remember
She still
Michael Bay.
produced the Turtles, which she goes to do.
I know. Apparently they made up. But he was so harsh on her in those interviews. Like she called him Hitler. So I guess he was like, I can fucking say anything I want. And he's like, sorry to Megan Fox. Sorry, I was such a fucking dictator. I made her work 10 hours a day. Like, fuck you.
I mean, I kind of agree with him.
What? Shut up.
If I was an actor, I would work 50 hours a day.
I know you would.
I would work for 800 hours a day. I don't give a fuck. You
know how many
complain about
hours
working
there
10
are?
hours a day?
Yeah.
Oh, get over yourself.
Well, that according to Michael Bay. So anyway, like Michaela was originally in the screenplay. They basically like had to write around her not being in it at the last second. So like Patrick Dempsey is the boss of Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend in this movie, and Shia is really jealous because his girlfriend's kind of out of his league, and now she's like meeting people that are in her league. And
But
and
all,
so
all
this
that
was-
he was just going to be Megan Fox's boss.
it was
That's all
just supposed
gonna
to be Megan Fox. Yeah.
Okay.
This was gonna be Megan Fox's first big job, and she's working for Dempsey, and Shia is like dealing with that, which makes a lot more sense actually.
I don't think it makes less sense here. I mean,
It just seems shoehorned in. Like there's no reason for this character not to be Michaela, other than the actress from that played
Yeah.
Michaela is indisposed.
I agree, but I think it makes just as much sense that he's just dating another random girl who has a
But
boss
why
who's the
would
same
she
way.
be dating another supermodel?
He just saved the world. He's Sam Witwicky.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think Sam Witwicky is cool, and you don't. I think that's just where we disagree.
Maybe that's the problem here.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll never find Sam Witwicky as cool as you.
As cool
You
as you
think
find
Shia-
me, is what you're saying?
No. Do you think
what I
Shia
think.
will ever come back for one of these? Like,
No.
you think they'll ever do like Transformers and it's like, wow, for this one we're bringing in Haley Steinfeld and Shia, like do Transformers All Stars.
Wow. It's like we're bringing in the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. It's like they're
Yeah.
doing that. I think
Right.
that's possible. I think that would be cool.
I think it'd be
You
great.
think you think Mark would come back?
Yeah, you got to bring Mark back. Well, we don't know what happened to his character.
Right. Yeah.
But-
I don't.
Yeah, you'd bring back Mark Wahlberg. Bring back both of these babes. Bring Fox and whatever the other one is, and
I like that.
bring in Shia.
It's like Scary
and
Movie
Haley
4 when you bring in
Steinfeld.
everyone from the first three.
Yeah, you could bring the In the Heights fella in.
Yeah.
show me whoever.
I like it. John Cena's in Bumblebee, by the way. Bring him in.
Yeah, bring Cena in. We're
We'll
gonna
talk
talk
about
about him
him.
soon. Yeah,
I didn't even know who. Like, I was like, which one is Cena? I didn't even recognize his voice.
he was one of Bebop and Rocksteady.
I know, but did you recognize his voice?
Yeah, I did. I was like, one of these dudes is Seth Rogen, one of these dudes is John Cena.
I didn't really recognize him. Anyway, back to Transformers. Can we back to his girlfriend? By the way, did you know her name in the movie?
Carly.
Carly. And I want to bring this up because his name is Sam. She's Carly. And you don't know this because you've never watched the show iCarly before. But Carly plays a girl named Carly. Well, I guess Miranda Cosgrove plays a girl named Carly. And then she has a friend played by, oh man, I'm forgetting her name. I feel so bad. Jeanette McCurdy. She just had a book come out last year. She about how her mom died, and she is glad her mom died, something like that.
I know.
Oh, okay,
That's
But-
really all I know her from.
but she was in iCarly, and they're best friends, and her name is Sam. So Sam and Carly play best friends on iCarly, but here they play boyfriend and girlfriend. So
I
anytime they
ask
were
you
like
something?
Sam, Carly, I was like, oh, it's just like iCarly,
There was a show called Sam and Cat.
right?
Was she Sam on that too?
She was, and Kat was Ariana Grande from Victorious. It was like a spin-off show. I don't really know how it spun off, how they met each other.
So
and
wait,
became
it was
friends.
a character from iCarly and a character from Victorious spun off
Right.
together?
Right. There's an episode of either iCarly or Victorious where it's like a crossover, like they did with like The Sweet Life of Wizards of Waverly Place on deck, or what? That's
Yeah.
not what it's called. But they did like that too. And there's another like that so Hannah Montana Sweet Life episode. But they did one with iCarly and Victorious, and I guess somehow Sam and Kat became friends. I don't remember how that episode happened, but yeah, they had a crossover show,
Incredible stuff.
Sam and Kat. But anyway, that's Sam and Carly. But all right, but we mentioned Obama, right?
Yeah. Good to
Oh, can I
see
bring up this guy
Obama.
Jesse Hyman?
Do whatever you want. Who's Jesse Hyman?
Well, you can look him up. He's like, you'd know him. He's the guy from, he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's like a nerdy guy, and he like kissed a girl in a Super Bowl commercial, like a sexy lady, sexy model. Remember that? And he was in Spider-Man, like the fight in Spider-Man when he fights Joe Manganiello in the hallway. Remember that? He's like there.
Isn't that Peter Parker?
He doesn't fight. Jesse Hyman doesn't fight him. He's just there in the hallway.
Wait,
watching.
is he this big fat guy with red hair?
Yeah, he's like a nerdy guy, and
Yeah.
he popped up in this movie, so I wanted to bring.
I
him up.
noticed him. I noticed him because he's an extra. He's a regular extra on the show Chuck. And I
Hmm.
saw a couple of Chuck extras in this movie, and I wondered if they shot it around where they shot Chuck.
That's interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. But I wanted to bring him up because he's in Spider-Man, because there's also another actor from Spider-Man 3, Mr. Ditkovich, the guy who always is asking for rent from Peter. He's in this movie playing like some guy at a table.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Peter, why don't you fuck my daughter?
He didn't want that to happen. That was more her doing. She wanted that.
Yeah, I guess
But-
you're right.
But he's like, I'm on the toilet. Give me my rent. But I always like to see that guy. That guy's cool. Mr. Ditkovich.
Mr. Ditkovich. All right, so this movie, it's got a lot of real world shit in it. Starts out 1961. There's a crash landing on the moon. All right, JFK pops up. He's like, "Hey, I support Robert Oppenheimer," and then they I can't get enough of that. And then it's a transformer, right? A transformer ship is what crash landed on the moon, and everyone's freaking out about that. And then there's all this shit with Chernobyl later on too.
Mhm.
There was a transformer discovered in Chernobyl.
Yep, that happened.
Yeah, and that was surprising. And then Frances McDormand is in this movie, and she's like a government employee, and she brings in the real Buzz Aldrin,
Mm-hmm.
the second man to walk on the moon. Poor Neil Armstrong, he's too dead to make a cameo. But Buzz Aldrin is like, "Yep, I remember when we were on the moon, I met a transformer." Fucking so wild.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Okay. I mean, I gotta say, this is my favorite of the Bay Transformers so far.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought this was garbage. I thought this was
Really?
Oh yeah, I thought this was horrible from start to finish, basically.
I like
But-
it the most.
It did make me happy that the Coen brothers probably saw this movie, right?
Because Francis McDormand.
And their old pal John Turturro, like the double whammy. They probably went for both of them.
I guess you're right. Yeah, they might have been at the premiere.
Turturro might not have been enough for the first two, and McDormand on her own might not have been enough for the third one, but together they were like, "Oh, we got to go to this one." By the way, did you watch like at the state of the very end? There's like a scene where they kiss.
What do you mean the very end?
There's like a credit scene, like when the credits.
I fast
go.
forwarded through the credits.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
wait,
like-
no, I did see that. It was a mid-credit scene, right?
Yeah, it's like pretty early on.
Yeah,
Not a lot happens, but they have like a little kiss.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that was
did see that. There's also John Malkovich in this movie.
Yeah, he's fun.
He hires Shia. Yeah, I thought he was kind of a good time. What else he got?
Alan
Can we
Tudyk?
talk about? Yeah. He's doing a goofy accent. Look, can we talk about McDreamy?
Yeah,
All right, so he's Megan Fox's boss. He's easily my favorite part of this movie. MVP, up and down. He starts out, he's like, you think his thing is gonna be Shia thinks he's an asshole, but he's gonna turn out to be an okay guy, and Shia's gonna realize that he's just being a jealous little prig. But no. Patrick Dempsey does a great heel turn. All right, where he's helping the Transformers take over Earth, and his whole thing is like, well, I just want to be on the winning side, baby. And it seems to me that the winning side in this war
right.
is Decepticons.
Yeah, I think
I
you're
was
right. I
so
think he's the
into
MVP. All
Yeah.
of his stuff is so good. Like he's the only part of this that worked for me in any sort of capacity. I feel like. Yeah, I feel like he's easily the MVP. That wasn't. I just instinctively wrote Sam down, but it has
Yeah.
to be Patrick Dempsey. Oh, one part I loved: Megatron
Okay.
walking through the desert wearing that little headscarf.
I liked that too.
That was beautiful.
Tyrese had my favorite line of the movie again.
Really?
Yeah. It's just simply, he goes, retirement is whack. I like that.
No, here's my favorite line. It's when Megatron, close to the end of the movie, when Megatron and Optimus Prime are fighting, and Megatron goes, "Who would you be without me?" And then Optimus Prime goes, "It's time to find out." I thought that was pretty cool.
It doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah, what are
It's
you
just
talking
one of those
about? It
li-
means
it's
you're
just
about
one of
to
those
end.
lines that sounds cool.
No, I liked it. That was cool.
All right. I'll tell you, since I told you Dempsey's my MVP, my LVP of this movie, Bill O'Reilly,
Who's he?
Fox News pundit Bill O'Reilly,
Uh,
who hosted the O'Reilly Factor for so many years and was so responsible for the rise of fascism in this country. He gets to be in this movie, and John Turturro appears on the O'Reilly Factor.
wow.
And we see a bunch of the O'Reilly Factor, and he even got to use his Bill O'Reilly, his famous catchphrase, "Pinheads."
Wow. I'm
That's
sure
what his thing.
loved
He liked to
that.
call people pinheads.
Yeah. I wish Pinhead killed him. That would have been a cool ending.
Totally.
All right. But Sentinel, do you like him? Sentinel Prime. They bring this guy back, but then he's bad.
I didn't like that his name was Sentinel because you can't just name a giant robot Sentinel. That's X-Men territory, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that his voice is Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy brings a lot of gravitas to whatever he's doing. But he had that weird Transformers facial hair. That always bothers me.
Wasn't
I
Nimoy in
don't-
the first movie?
He's
like the
in the
animated one?
cartoon. Yeah.
Who was he there? Do you remember?
Somebody else, a Transformer. But here he is in this one. He's I mean, there's a lot of Star Trek references in this movie. Like, they really were excited Leonard Nimoy was on set. There's even a scene early on where like Shia LaBeouf's watching an old episode of Star Trek.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna I thought about making a note about that, but I was like, did he know a lot about Star Trek?
Yeah, I don't know. And it was like a big Spock episode too. But yeah, he had a Transformer beard. I don't understand how they have that. Where do these metal beards come from?
Shop.
Do they So they have to like decide like I want a beard and then they build it?
Yeah, I think it's like a my 2K My Player creator. You like go to the shop and you like pick out what you want and sculpt it for you.
All right. Fair enough. Well,
What
you
was
got
up-
it. What?
Yeah, go
go ahead.
Well, something crazy happened, like that have never been in the other movies. There's blood and Transformers at the end of this movie, right?
Transformer blood?
Yeah, I feel like at the last few kills of this movie, there's Transformer blood.
What color was it?
Red.
Transformers are bleeding red?
That's what I saw. I thought I was gonna ask you if you thought the same thing, if that was blood or not.
I didn't notice.
Like at the very end, he like Megatron or not Megatron, Optimus Prime kills a few people and there's blood.
They kill Dr. Ken.
Oh yeah, that was cool. He went like flying out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, but was that Razorbeak, by the way? Remember I was excited in the cartoon about a character named Razorbeak?
He's like a little chicken looking guy.
Yeah. I think
I
this
liked
might have
him.
been live action Razorbeak.
Or a goose. He's like more like a goose kind of. I really liked Razorbeak. Maybe second MVP if not for Dempsey. Razorbeak was cool.
I'm with you, man.
I hope he comes back.
Me too. All right, what do you give this movie?
I'll give it a 1.
I was gonna pop this one a 2.
Okay. What's
All right.
what's redeeming about this one, Dempsey?
I was just like Dempsey. I was more invested. Like I remember watching the fight scene. Like you know how these movies all end with like a way too long fight scene. I remember I was like halfway through the fight scene, and I was like, I understand what they're fighting about. I'm slightly invested in it. I understand what the stakes are. It was like the first time I was watching a Transformers fight in a movie, and I had any stake in what happened in the fight.
Yeah, I sort of understand what you're saying, but I think the first half of 2 is way better than this movie.
I think it's hard. 2 to me is horrible from moment 1.
Yeah, I feel that way about this one. But it is fun, like the space race, and it's got a lot of like WTF moments. that
Yeah,
I enjoyed.
all that stuff is so weirdly goofy and ambitious that like I sort of have more respect for this one.
Okay, all right. I sort of feel like this is like the Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens.
No
sort of.
way.
No, you don't feel like that?
No.
Maybe the next one will be Sharknado 4. We'll see.
We can only hope.
But, all right, so my MVP, we're both gonna go Patrick Dempsey. My LVP, I wrote Michael Bay, but what do you got?
Bill O'Reilly.
Oh yeah, I'll go that guy too, I guess. Wow. What else? What else do we got?
Lenovo. That's a brand of computer I'd never heard of, but it's all over this movie, and so I Googled it.
Is it real?
Yep.
Okay. Lenovo.
That's all I got.
All right. Shout out to Lenovo. Shout out to all of you listening. Should we see if we got a review? I haven't checked that in a little while.
What do you mean a review?
Like on iTunes.
Oh, on yeah, go ahead. I don't think so, but we can check.
Nope. Still 177. For fuck's sake, people. What are you doing? What are you
You're
doing
right.
out there?
You're right.
If you listen to this show, then we might not be here forever, just to let you know. So if you could drop us a rating or a review, that would help us out.
I personally feel like Logan has one foot out the door and he's starting to consider leaving the podcast and he's laying the groundwork for it. And it's really worrying me because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
No, that's not true. It just really upsets me. Like, we put all this time and work into it and don't have a lot to show for it. It's a little upsetting. But I'm fine. We're about to record 2 more podcasts. I'm here, Daniel.
All right,
if I wasn't
you
here, I
are.
wouldn't be here.
That's true.
So stay tuned for Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem next, and then Buffy, the show that we actually love to like. Here,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the problem. Is here I kind of just like show up and I do the thing, but Buffy is what I love to do. If you like this and you tolerate this show, check out Buffy, where we actually have a great time.
Yeah, we're doing that. We really do have a good time recording.
That's
that
my favorite
show.
thing I do every week. Buffy's Angels.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. All right, so next week on this show, though, check out Transformers: Age of Extinction and Transformers: The Last Night, I believe. And
Yeah.
that's a double dose of Marky Mark. And we'll see.
Wait.
What?
Is it the last? Oh yeah, it's Last Night then Bumblebee, right? I'm sorry. And the
Yeah.
Last Night has Anthony Hopkins in it. Did you know
I didn't know that.
that?
Good for him. Get that bag, Anthony. Sir Anthony. All right, gang. Fucking keep on listening. Patreon.com/thefranchise. That's where our better work is.